shameful existence as a man. I actually, used to be involved in a rival nonprofit called Boys Right Eventually. Its mission is to encourage procrastination. So, maybe I'll get involved when we get later. Okay, I'm here tonight to help honor the brilliant, heroic, life-changing Rachel Bloom. I'm just going to spoil the rest of my remarks right now and just tell you all I would not be able to do what I do professionally if it weren't for her. And so I have thought about cutting her 10% of my paychecks for commission. And around the time I first met Rachel in college, I started to be very aware of that voice I think we all have in our heads. Sometimes quiet, absurd, that voice that tells you, do the thing, take the chance, trust your instinct. And Rachel has spent her entire career obeying that voice. And the result is that she's changed what's possible for many people, not just herself, or for women in television, or for sardonic comedy, musical theater nerds like me, but for anyone who ever thought that their instincts might be worth pursuing and realizing. First saw Rachel at a Hammercats NYU sketch show. Yes! She walked on stage and she was one of the only women in the group, and I immediately remember thinking, oh, she's got it figured out. I'd go to all her shows during her year of overlap, and I watched her flourish outside of school immediately. She would write from a specificity that could have only been motivated by her own sense of self, by her own instinct. And it changed the parameters of what I thought was possible. A few years later, I went to LA, where she was living, for a college improv festival. Rachel took me out to a gastropub by USC. Because that's the kind of person she is. She sees a lost 20-something and she buys them a burger and offers them life advice. And at the time, I was deciding between med school and comedy. Which in hindsight are both about healing people. One with jokes and the other with insurance claims. But Rachel didn't try to convince me to do one thing or the other. She just asked questions until she made me realize that I already knew the answer. She didn't tell me to take the leap, she made me see that I already did. And that's her gift. She helps people recognize the moment they're already in, that point where your life is quietly changing direction because you've decided to listen to yourself. And watching her career since then has been a masterclass in that instinct. She created, wrote, and starred Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, as we know. Yes! So it's still ahead of its time. It's the network of television shows, the movie network. She turned heartbreak into showstoppers. She turned anxiety into comedy. These are impossible things. And in Death, let me do my special, amazing special. She turned grief into joy and catharsis. She's proof that instincts aren't just your creative beginnings. They're a means of survival as life keeps challenging you every day. Instincts get captured in meaning, and meaning gets captured in writing. That's the drive of what Girls Right Now does. For nearly 30 years, they've helped young writers trust their voices from and guide and write from instinct, even and especially when the world feels scary or strange or impossible. And Rachel has been quietly supporting that mission every month with her donation for over a decade. Yes! So, by Rachel's example, in her art, in her heart, in her humor, I encourage you to give right now, so that through this work, someone can listen to that voice in their head and put pen to paper. Someone else's remarks. I was just going to say, wow, what from double spacing to single? Rachel, thank you so much for trusting your instincts so fiercely that it gave the rest of us permission to trust ours. Thank you for that burger in 2012. And we're pleased to join me in honoring my dear friend and the 2025 Girls Right Now honoree, Rachel Bloom.